Okay, so before we get into the podcast today, I just want to thank our January sponsor. And for all our podcasts and our video content, our January sponsor is Mayflower Brewery. We love everyone there. They're so nice. They do amazing things for the community. They make great beer. Their porter is unprecedented. Love and Wrestling's great. If you like sours, Resistance is Frutiles, phenomenal. They let us record here. They're just so supportive of us, and we love everyone at Mayflower Brewery. If you happen to be in the Plymouth area, if you're not, ask your local bar, your local liquor store to carry Mayflower beer. It's great stuff. You'll love them. You'll love their beer. And I think I'm going to go get another Mayflower beer right now. All right, welcome back to the Bar Talk Podcast. This is Andy of Inebriart, your host, and I am joined, as always, by Dan Mahoney.
Fun fact, Andy, I'm sweating out just as much booze as Mayflower's producing today.
There may be some hangovers already, so
I'm at full speed.
Yeah, so at full speed today is Nicole Souza from 3V.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Happy to be here.
And then our next guest, what was your name again?
Carl.
That voice is the lovable Jordan Chabot, sometimes Bar Talk host, sometimes wing cook at Speedwell. Oh man, I got a Speedwell gift certificate as a present yesterday.
You luckiest guy ever.
Did you get it from Jordan?
No.
I don't give gifts. I hate Christmas.
Is there a restaurant person in the world who likes Christmas is the real question. Because
question.
I have yet to meet one.
Yeah.
Probably the person that owns the restaurant and doesn't work in it because they fucking sell a shitload of gift cards and they don't have to do anything.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah, just like some money guy. It's corporate bigwig that just sits back and
That's me, baby.
Sits in his ivory tower.
That's me, baby. Crushing beers.
So yeah, we're like days away from Christmas.
Ho.
This will come out probably after Christmas.
Just after Christmas?
Yep.
Yeah, I think like the
I
first...
don't know, this might just have to be everyone's Christmas present from us.
Release it on Wednesday. That's
Let's
it.
go
Fish.
for it.
A lot of people traveling
Let's
on
call us
Christmas.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Listen to it in their cars.
Well, they can listen to the other episodes and build up to this one.
They already finished all those. They need new content.
Yeah, people are, on the edge of their
Christmas
seats waiting for Bar Talk to come out.
Well, if you guys are more accessible,
God damn it.
it's always about you.
It's always Jordan's fault.
I moved away. I don't know if you guys heard, I got a kid now.
It's not Kyle.
So, yes, not Carl. Is he excited for Christmas?
My kid?
Yeah.
He doesn't really understand yet.
So it's
He
too
loves
early?
Santa, but he doesn't. He loves Santa unconditionally because he doesn't understand that Santa's going to give him a bunch of free shit. He just likes him because he's in a jolly red suit.
Okay.
He's Santa, but he doesn't understand the concept yet. I think once we put a bunch of wrapped presents in front of him and he gets to tear them apart, he's going to love Christmas. He ain't even going to care about the gifts. Just ripping something apart and not getting in trouble is going to be awesome for him. So.
I feel like kids that age open up like 3 things and then they just want to play with them. You're like, no, there's a bunch of other shit you have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or they want to play
probably.
with the trash.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So we're not here to talk about Christmas or Jordan's kid.
I'm out.
That's all he brings to the table.
Yeah.
That's it. One trick fucking pony.
But about a month or so ago at Buffalo Wild Wings, fairly locally, it was Braintree maybe? I can't remember exactly which one.
Burlington. I don't think that's
Burlington,
true because,
That sounds... Let's go with that.
I'm just making shit up, Dan.
Did you just literally stated something as a fact and retracted it immediately.
Cool, I don't know if you know me, but that's what I do. That's my roll around
So the
here.
Buffalo Wild
You look the way I feel.
So the Buffalo Wild Wings in Belmont.
So fantastic.
Had an incident where some employees, some sort of chemical spill or mix-up or whatever, and sent some people to the hospital. Hospital? What the hell's an hospital?
What's a hospital?
A hospital.
I felt like a fish with no water.
And someone ended up dying. And then, like 2 weeks later, it happened at a fast food. Dan, what fast food restaurant was that?
I think it was Taco Bell.
And where'd that happen?
Swansea.
So someone ate
Swansea.
the food?
It was a chemical incident.
Don't you dare insult Taco Bell in my presence.
They used to have like remember that urban legend with Taco Bell back in the day, where like there was like somebody ate it with chapped lips and got spider eggs hatching. And
Oh! My
No, I've never heard that.
guess
Yeah,
that was a
first of
full
all,
Taco Bell.
I make up the false stories. Not you. Don't you dare step
I
on
just
my
know
toes.
the last night I had like an elegant night out with a friend. We like went. No, we like went. We got a bottle of nice wine, whatever. Feeling good. I left, and I got a Doritos Locos Ranch taco. After the buzz I got on from my high class bottle of wine. So just saying.
Yeah.
So did that really happen at Taco Bell? Is that?
That's what Dan said.
That's what I said, and that
it
means
has
it's
to be
true.
It has
Yeah.
to be true because Dan Mahoney
We're gonna-
said
It's like
Get
Google.
sued by Taco Bell.
You're the one.
the Bar
that
Talk
bashed them. I
podcast
just
does
said,
not
yeah.
condone anything.
No, Andy
No,
said
no.
they killed somebody.
No, the Buffalo Wild Wings. Someone definitely died at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yes, I know.
In Burlington.
Okay, serious.
In Belmont.
In Belmont. Burlington.
I don't.
I thought it was Braintree.
I don't know. Clearly, none of us know where it is.
We're not
Totally
newscasters, Jordan.
This episode's over.
Straight in.
Fucking Google it
We
if you want
reach
to know
at
where it
least
happened.
3 listeners in this podcast.
Yeah, but they're like in California and Tennessee, so it's like
They don't know
Didn't
these
that one in
places.
Australia or something too, or like China.
probably.
It was probably
Whoever
China
is in
or
Tennessee,
but
though,
yeah,
you're
probably.
the only 10 I see.
Oh. Are you trying to pick up our audience?
Yeah. Let's go, Tennessee.
So, I figured we'd talk like safety talk.
Safety talk.
Talk.
This podcast has 0 days without an injury.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, wait, that's not true. We've had more.
No, my liver's broken. And
Oh, okay.
Fucking life's broken.
So, what is the golden rule?
Glass, glass, glass. Glass everywhere. Don't scoop with glass.
Yes, I love that one. That is. If there was a golden rule, that's the one. It's the
There is. Nicole just said that's the golden rule, Jordan.
It is.
Stop fucking doubting people today.
I wasn't down.
I was angry today.
when Andy said there was a golden rule, I'm like, "There's no fucking golden rule." And then she had like the perfect answer.
Yeah,
like,
so
that
that's
is
the
one.
golden rule.
So it was like, yeah, you're right.
I just like remember specific. So at Sam's where I work, my bartending lifestyle, whatever, we have 1,000 different stupid purees, whatever. And the way they're cornered, there's like ice, purees, and then glass right above them. And I smashed glass so bad, I had to dump out like 6 different purees because I'm like, oh my god, I have a shard of glass from that break. It was in a puree, and then I make some kid like a chocolate frosty. They're gonna choke and die, and I can't. So that was like 10 hours later, I finally killed all my ice, found all the glass, emptied all the purees, but it's legit. You don't want that kid to choke on a piece of glass.
It just seems like every bar has glass hanging somewhere.
Why do we hang glass?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Like, Jordan, you have it over the bar.
Yeah, but it's...
I'm sitting here going,
But, I mean, has that ever...
True,
Like, has
though.
anyone dropped... Because those are, like, nice mugs. Has anyone dropped one?
Yeah, they've been dropped before. Not as often as you think. I think with broken glass behind the bar, it happens more when someone's either, like Nicole said, scooping ice with it, or overconfident, you're just moving super fast.
Yeah.
Anytime one of my bartenders goes to reach one of those, so those of you listening that haven't been to Speedwell, we have a mug club, and above the bar we have a rack of 100 hand-blown glass mugs. They're beautiful. But you gotta like reach up to grab them. Half of my bartenders aren't tall enough so they can use a stool. But I think when they reach for those, they're like super cautious.
Yeah.
So, it's not like just reaching for a regular ass wine glass.
Because it's, like, right over a customer.
Right,
generally.
exactly.
And it's somebody's
Like,
prized possession.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Your
Yeah.
mug. It's
Yeah,
their
they spent
mug.
like $400 to get it, because you have to drink a certain amount of beers to become part of the club. So yeah, they do break, but it's mostly in the dishwasher or unloading and loading the dishwasher. Never really from like taking them from up there. But I do know, speaking of golden rule, when a glass breaks, it always seems to be near the fucking ice bin.
Always. Why would always?
Right. And when your glass shatters, like,
On the busiest night of the week.
right. And we don't buy heavy duty glasses because we break them so often. So we buy these like wicked thin martini and wine glasses. And when they shatter, they go 50 fucking feet in every direction.
Yeah.
So you could basically just shut down for 20 minutes while you're inspecting everywhere.
In the limes? Did it get in the limes?
Right. Put it this way. If you go out drinking like 5 or 6 nights a week, if you go out drinking twice a week, you've probably swallowed the equivalent of like a rack of glass. Not even gonna fucking lie. As careful as you are, we used to do this thing. So I think a lot of restaurants do this. When you break a glass near the thing, you hurry up and grab like grenadine or blue curacao and drizzle it into the ice bin and make sure that you don't use that ice until you get to clean it. But some bars only have one ice bin. You know what I mean?
Scooping it out of a bucket until you're killed it all, back to normal.
The place you work at is huge. Stacks, right?
Yep.
Like, so how many ice bins do you have in that fucking place?
We have 2.
That's it?
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I mean, it was worse when I worked at the BBC. The one
They have
ice
one
bin,
ice cube tray.
and the ice machine is in the basement. The sink's on the other side. Like, it took like 2 hours to get all the ice out of there.
Right, because you can melt it.
My ware's closed. Fuck it.
Bottled beers only, bitches.
Yeah.
Get those White Claws.
Friend of the show, Aubrey. I was at Luciosa's one day, and she's putting stuff out of the dishwasher up, and then they hang their wine glasses above the bar. Glass slipped out of her hand, smashed on the bar right in front of the customer on his pizza.
Fuck.
Ooh.
So
That would happen to Aubrey.
yeah, so she was just like, "Whoops."
She's like a comic book.
Yeah. It was fucking, and you know the way Aubrey just kind of like laughed it off and was like, "Let me get you new pizza." The poor bastard.
I remember flirting with a guy and breaking a glass, and that was probably the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me. And I hit the deck and I said, "Don't look at me." At Sam's, we have those like you said, all the fucking hanging glasses. Why? I don't know. But I was like, oh, bye, and I went to wave, and I whacked my hand over all these glasses. These group of guys turned and looked at me, and I legit hit the deck and screamed, "Don't look at me!" and just shattered glass around me. So I'm a catch. Come find me. My soul is shattered.
One of my first times at New World, when we started working with New World, this was like 7 years ago, so I barely knew Carl. And
That was when you were a much better person.
Yeah, I was much happier then.
Life was easy.
And so we were bringing stuff in, and I went to sit up on the bar, and I'm like talking to him, and I think it was canvases, and they have glasses that hang over the bar in the back, and just like 2 glasses like right there, just because I just wasn't paying attention. And he's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry." And of course, it's Carl, so he's just giving me the hardest time possible.
Right, he doesn't give a fuck.
He
It was
still
more
brings it
important
up.
that it was able to go at you.
Yeah.
Because of that. Hey, glass is a good one. Glass is a good one. That's one of those unnecessary evils. You know what I mean? It can really something as stupid as a broken glass can fucking shut your whole place down.
Yep.
And I mean, I'm assuming cut people. I mean, you guys have to cut yourself on glass.
Yeah, I got a pretty bad cut glass story. You want to hear it?
No.
No, we're a podcast. We don't want to hear anything.
Yeah. We're not here to listen to you.
So, you know, 3 Olives Vodka could be a sponsor of the show, guys.
That's
So,
y'all's,
Depending on how the story goes.
3 Olives slide into my inbox.
It's
DM
not
me
going to
or-
go
I don't know.
well. Let me just stop listening if you work at 3 Olives. So, one of my first bartending jobs, the first like high volume one that wasn't at a banquet restaurant where everybody was on their deathbed. We had 3 Olives Vodka, which is like their bottle shape is almost the same exact size as like a Grey Goose bottle, where it's long, thin, and it's got a really long, thin neck. So we had this bottle of 3 Olives Raspberry, which nobody ordered because everybody's solely ras. So finally sold it one night. I was on the bar. It was a Friday night with another guy named Josh. And we sold the rest of the bottle. I was so excited. And I'm trying to get the pourer out. Now that bottle's been behind the bar for so long that the pourer was like stuck in, like glued to the bottle. So we spent the half hour passing it around the bar trying to get the pourer out. We really could have just threw the bottle away. Like the pourer is worth 19 cents, I think. But we were determined. So finally,
It's like a bar game.
Yeah. So in the middle of the Slam Friday, so in the middle
Fucking
of
bar
this rush,
Excalibur.
the bottle gets back to me, and like I'm like hunched over and like got my arm upside down. I'm trying to twist the fucking thing out, and I snap the bottle in half. And like right where the neck meets like the base of the bottle, and obviously like the broken glass, I flipped it into my thumb because I was putting so much force into it, and my thumb just kind of like flipped over. So it's hard to explain like if you can't see what I'm doing, but basically
It's good radio.
I cut like under my knuckle of my thumb, and the whole palm of my thumb flipped over to the side of where my nail is. And I immediately flipped it back over and just held my thumb. And I looked at the kid Josh I was working with, he just looks at me, just starts laughing. He goes, "You gotta go to the fucking hospital."
The number of times you've told us stories about cutting or stabbing yourself in the hands, I feel like you should have chainmail gloves on at all.
I don't even know he has hands anymore.
Yeah, you can
right?
see the scar here, so it goes up, across, and I don't have any feeling on the inside of my thumb.
No, show it
anymore.
directly into the microphone.
Yeah.
They just
You guys feel that?
you know what this is for? Our Instagram.
Which we never use.
No.
We should.
And now Fish can take a picture of his thumb.
Yeah.
Not that I don't talk too much already, but I feel like this entire episode is going to be telling stories about how many stitches I've done. So that was 13. So let's play a game.
It's gonna be like that scene in Lethal Weapon 2.
Diplomatic immunity. Let's play a game. So let's do a stitch count.
Okay.
All right, so we're at 13 right now. And by the end of the podcast, I want to know how many stitches between all four of us that we have.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you I'm not going to listen to any of these numbers anymore.
I've only ever
I'm
had,
out.
Hey, fair enough.
I think I've only ever had 6.
All right, so we're at 19.
Yeah. I got hit in the face with a shovel.
Was that at a restaurant?
No.
All right, that has nothing to do with this.
Well, you said stitches.
Yeah, stitches in a workplace.
Well, all right, then I have none.
I think you're the leader.
I haven't even.
I was like, as I have had no stitches.
None?
Many a broken nail.
I've never had any from work. So,
No?
No.
All right, well, let's skip that.
Fish has 3.
Fish has 3. Fantastic.
So I know the fish story. Knife injuries, Jordan. Go.
All right. Well, I work in the kitchen. I don't think anyone here works kitchen hours, right?
I mean, I expo.
You expo? So
Yeah.
you
I have
get-
food now.
There you go.
Me, not Doritos.
Step away from the other side of the line.
No,
buddy.
I've done
I
that.
can't
I've done that
relate.
before. I've
Have
never.
you?
Yeah.
It's
not for me.
I don't know. I went to culinary school too, so like I came up as a bartender and a server and all that, and then now I work more kitchen hours because I don't want to deal with people. I like hiding back there. But knife injuries? Do you really want me to fucking?
No, I was just fucking around.
Oh, all right, good. I'm like, Jesus, no one wants to hear this shit.
No one
That's
wants
like
to
telling
hear you
people
talk.
about your dreams. No one wants to know what you dreamt about last night.
Well, even though, like,
I'm gonna
this
cross
is
out
bar
my
talk,
list,
so I'm sure we've all cut ourselves cutting fruit before behind a bar.
That's a good
Like,
point.
I have scars all over my fingers. I'll show the microphone like Jordan does.
No stitches.
No stitches, though.
How are you not going to show the microphone? You can't. Talk
I just
about
did,
it
man.
in
You
a-
didn't
all right,
see
good,
it?
yeah.
Look at
You
it.
can't see because the pop screen's there.
Yeah, it's right.
But Nicole, you manage people.
Ugh.
So
True.
I
how-
do manage people.
Like, do you have to like oversee? Be like, don't do, stop running, like that. Do you have to like take care of children or like?
I take
feel
care
like-
of children in a
Nicole.
complete.
I didn't know Nicole manages a pool.
I take care of children in a completely different way, where I have to be like, you do not need to Snapchat right now, or like, please don't cry. Like, my cry count is higher than my injury count, which I guess is good. But I always joke with them. I'm like, I'm gonna put a board up that says 3V has gone 0 days without tears. Why are you crying? Why are you crying? You don't injure yourselves, thank God. But I've had to call 911 more for my customers than my staff.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Dude, I've called 911 so many times at 3V, it's been insane. I can't even wrap my head around it.
Now, is
But,
it for health or is it because they're causing a ruckus?
50-50. A
Okay.
nice 50-50 split there.
I don't think of like 3V as a place I'd go to cause a rush.
Can
Yeah.
I tell you, can
That's
I
why you
riddle
go
you a
there.
tale
Yeah.
about the time that I thought I was going to get physically assaulted?
Let's go.
Please.
Yeah.
It was the
Let's go.
It was the only time in my restaurant career that has elicited tears from the fact that I was so shooketh to my core.
Ooh,
I-
wow, okay.
That's a good word.
Right?
I didn't realize we were going to have
Put that in the
educated people
dream
on this
journal,
show.
Jordan.
I'm actually gonna really.
I had a woman who my bartenders casually were like, she's cut off. I'm like, okay, I'll go chat with her. I was like, all right, you done? I'm sorry. Let's move it along. Well, at this point, she was basically nonverbal. She didn't know where she lived, how to open her phone. She started drinking the women next to her's wine. It's like, I said, I literally will pay for your Uber if you give me any address. Any address, I will pay for your Uber. You're gonna get me fucking arrested. I'm like,
Should have Ubered her.
Sure.
Why would you allow
sure will.
Poor fucking Uber guy at that point.
Oh. So I walk her to the front, whatever, because she's in like adult woman lingerie-esque bar. Bad.
This
It was
is
bad.
fucking awesome.
She was a absolute shit show. So I sit her down, and finally the phone rings, and the bartender, I'm like bad cop, the bartender's like good cop. The good cop bartender answers the phone, and it's an ex-husband, and he's like, the bartender's able to get out like, okay, this is where I work.
Her cell phone one.
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Somebody
yeah,
finally
yeah,
called her, so we got access.
She's probably texting him, being like, "Hey, you up?"
Yeah. Wink, wink. So I'm like, help me help you. I'm gonna fucking punch you in the face. So I'm like, all right, well now, yes, I am gonna get you arrested. So I walk up to the phone to call 911, and this woman swings at me, and it's the first time in my life I've had a punch come
She
at
actually
me.
took a swing.
But it was like a movie. So my hostess had a dad, like a cop dad, who just whipped out his badge and saved me. Detained this woman outside, and I called the police, and they came, and they're like, you did the right thing. And all of a sudden, tears flew down my face. I was like,
Yeah, go in and erase that 6 days.
there's a lot of tears there. So yeah, so that was a big day. And months later, the guy who brought her on a date there apologized for it. I was like,
She was on a date?
She was on a date who abandoned her.
Can you blame her?
Yeah.
I cannot blame him.
I would have been like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yes.
Emergency alarm
Yeah.
kicks on. He's going
Poor bastard.
Yeah. Yep. 0 days out there, tears at 3
Has anyone taken a swing at either of you guys?
Yeah.
I mean,
think I've
at
told the story
work.
before. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I told the story before, but real quick, basically, a guy disputed a tab at one of my first jobs. It was a Portuguese individual, so it was a little bit of a language gap there, too. But these Portuguese guys, when I was working at Florida, they used to go into, like, these social clubs. And, you know, one glass of wine was $2, a shot of Constantine is $1, a Bud is $1, and, you know, he ordered a bunch of drinks for his buddies at this wedding. And I made the round, and it was like 40-something bucks. And he refused. He said, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. And I argued with him. I shouldn't have. I should have just got a manager. But, we started insulting each other. So when I went to go walk around the bar to go get the manager a little too late, and the dude just took a swing on me. And luckily, it missed. So I went to go swing back, because he was fucking hammered. I was young and stupid. So I went to go take a swing back, and the kid I was bartending with saved my job and probably my life, because there were about 50 Portuguese people. He caught my, shoulder when I went to go swing at him, and then dragged me into the kitchen, and I told the manager what happened, and I got sent home and suspended, and that's how that went. But that was the only time I've really ever been swung at. It was a freak thing. That was my first year bartending, so I thought I was going to get swung at every week. I got to side in the gym.
There's a lot of confrontation. I've seen, and that even ties into the safety thing. I've seen a lot of confrontation. I've seen somebody be tased in the restaurant before.
Yes.
Yeah. How?
That was at Speedwell, right?
I've seen somebody tased at San Diego's. Yes.
Come to Main Street in Plymouth. Get tased.
Get tased.
It's like tase roulette.
But yeah,
Who's getting tased tonight? It's electric in town.
funny.
But I mean, yeah, that's a total safety thing. It's at some point, are you going to push the issue being at what point do you draw that line between this person's going to go violent and and hurt me or a staff member?
You went through that, right, Dan? Do you have a story where somebody basically threatened your life? Or
Someone
something?
spit in my face.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, it was a
That's a
BBC,
health
man.
hazard.
Yeah.
It's a biohazard.
Yeah.
The BBC is basically the Old West.
It really is.
It's like Deadwood.
There's a
there.
reason I don't work there anymore. that was the downfall. I was like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I've had unfortunately, you've learned that very late when it's too late when someone's gonna start swinging and it's gonna get to that point.
It's true.
Had a drunk lady. I was like, she fell on the ground. I'm like, hey, let me help you up. She jumped up and tried to Mike Tyson punch out style me. And I was like, what the fuck?
No.
Sit on the ground. I don't care.
Just started chasing a chicken outside.
Yeah. That was my midget stripper person.
Oh,
What?
midget stripper.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
That's the
Whoa.
best story.
I feel like
You can't drop that and not
it was
elaborate.
winter time. I feel like I've told the story, but
She
time
was
out.
mad?
It's a great story,
I
so
don't
I'll
feel
tell
like
it.
that's been on Bar Talk, has it? No, there's been no midget.
I'm
Also, it is
disappointed in myself
Christmas.
in
Riddle
that.
us a
Yeah.
tale.
We've hinted at it, but I don't think we actually.
Okay, so it's a Christmas story, perfect time.
Yeah. So it was a night. It was a Tuesday night. Steve Mazzetta was playing.
Love Steve.
And
Yeah,
it
props,
was,
Steve. Good job.
It was
Love
just
you.
snowing out, and all of a sudden, the front door just flies open, and this midget lady, wearing just a tank top. It's like I said, snowing, no jacket, nothing. Stumbles in. I was like, fuck. this because I'm the only person there. I have probably 50 people in there, and so like she pinballs her way through, almost falls into Steve, and she goes in the bathroom. First, she almost goes out the back door. I'm like, do I just let her go out the back door and lock it? And I was like, that back alleyway is sketchy, so I was like, I don't need a dead body behind me.
Oh, God.
Because I don't want to do the paperwork.
Incident reports.
Exactly.
See?
So-
Everywhere.
She goes in the bathroom, like the door closes, and I just hear a crash, and I'm like, fuck. So I'm not going to go in the women's room, so I got one of our regulars that's also a bartender. Okay, I need you to go. She's female. I'm like, can you go in and just open the door and see what's going on, and we'll take it from there. The girl lady just fell in, like she was sitting on the ground, so that's when I went to go help her up. She jumped up, tried to punch me, and then I'm like, you gotta get the fuck out. And she couldn't even speak. So I think she's leaving, she's going to the door, and she sits at the bar, and I'm like, you need to go. She started, blah, 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 blah. That's pretty much what she sounded like, and then she starts like trying to punch customers, so I had to call police.
Jesus.
And we said I'm the only person there, so I have zero time to deal with this bullshit.
Yeah.
So then the cops come in, and I'm like, who is it? I'm like, well, first of all, I couldn't say this on the phone because you would never have showed up when I told you there's a midget in here. But it's that really short drunk lady over there. Yeah. So they came in, like they go take her out, like she won't talk to her, and then she was sitting on like the fence across the street from the BBC.
Yeah.
Which is just like, if you haven't been there, it's just like this wood plank, and
Yeah.
she just fell off into the snow, like fell backwards,
That's
dying laughing, like. So they get her out, and then like, I just moved to Plymouth, so I just started working. I don't know anyone yet, really. So at the end of the night, I'm like, I need to talk to someone about this. So there's the two bartenders are leaving Main Street Sports. I open the window, I'm like, guys. I know I don't know you, but I need to have this discussion. So I was like telling us, and like, oh yeah, that lady, like she's a stripper. We kicked her out of Main Street. So yeah, she got arrested, and
Wow.
it was wild. That was my
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I feel like
that was my welcome to Plymouth right there. I'm like, do I work here? But forever, I'm bonded with those two police officers. I always,
course.
on the anniversary, I always send them a Facebook post.
Remember
I
this
was
day?
always buy them around whenever they came in. Like, guys, remember that midget?
Now I remember why we would never tell that story, because when Carl's here, you can't tell midget stories.
Yeah.
No, first of all, so this is my first time with Bar Talk. So, getting ready for today, I listened to an episode, and Carl was talking about a midget bartender
See?
so.
on vacation.
He's obsessed.
Yeah.
With a-
He is, but it also kind of harkens back to our first recording, where we were talking about midgets, and then we recorded the next episode, which at the time was staggered, so it didn't go out for a month. And then Carl just makes this random midget joke, which, because we're all in the room, was really funny. And then I'm like, Carl, it's going to be like a month apart. No one's going to have any idea what you're talking about, other than you seem to rag on midgets for no reason. And
No, that just does that anyway.
Yeah.
He does that anyway. His dad's the
midget
same
bias.
Oh my god, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So, alright,
It's
so
crazy.
we have glass as a hazard.
Yeah.
We've done
Drunken
people.
people.
as a
People
hazard.
are
People are
huge
definitely
hazard.
fucked. That's the biggest
the
hazard.
chemical thing is kind of what...
Oh yeah,
what-
circle back.
Yeah.
Circle back.
So
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, tell us about the Burlington Taco Bell.
So, at the Hanover Taco Bell,
Change of town. We'll hit every
We change the
Massachusetts-
town
we
restaurant.
should change the restaurant every time,
Yeah.
too. So, Hanover McDonald's. My understanding was there was a chemical on the floor already, and then they went to clean something, and it mixed and basically made mustard gas, more or less.
That was the Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, was that
the original
Buffalo
one.
Wild
Yeah,
Wings?
the Taco Bell was something else, right?
It was Burger King
Oh, okay. All right. I thought it was the
in
Wings.
Springfield.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
All right. The Burger King and the KFC in Worcester.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. Oh.
We're gonna get sued by all of them.
Yeah.
I might as well
Let's
go,
go.
because then we could go to court and be like, no,
Like,
we were talking about every
it was
restaurant.
clearly
in
a joke,
general.
Equal opportunity discrimination, okay?
So In-N-Out Burger in Arlington.
But for a fact, I know this happened because I was actually
He's the one who did it.
working at the time. Was at the Stop and Shop in Whitman. They were taking a pallet off a truck, and the pallet tipped, and it was all cleaning material. So basically,
Whoa.
the kid went to the hospital. They had to evacuate the store.
Oh, yeah.
It's no joke.
Oh, no, I actually have a chemical story. Of course I do, because I'm the world's most dangerous restaurant person. But
Yeah,
I'm
you're
a little
alive.
concerned for your employees.
Do you have life insurance?
They have way better stories of me walking in and just basically destroying the place every day. I got electrocuted yesterday.
Jesus Christ.
So, it was a mild one.
His hair only stood up a little bit.
It was
Mild electrocution.
The credit cards were down for about 20 minutes after. If you want, when we get to the electricity,
They're getting processed through my veins.
Oh, God, falling apart. But, when I was working at that same restaurant where the Portuguese guy tried killing me, we had a lot of older clientele, and they always seemed to order the heaviest dish, so their feeble stomachs couldn't handle it. And then, their...
Then they destroy the
they would
restaurant.
get shooketh, and...
Sugars to the core. What was that again?
Shook it to the core.
And the male ones would decide to throw up their chowder in the urinals. So, me as a busboy early in my career, 15, 16 years old, that would be my job, so to clean it. So it happened once. We had a big lobby. It was like a big wedding venue, banquet venue, whatever. And it was a lobby, and there was a big bathroom that was kind of open to the public, not in one of the function rooms. And that was where this puke went down. And I got summoned to go clean it. So I was like, I looked at it. This is gross. I need to chemical the shit out of this. Basically, like Breaking Bad, trying to dissolve a body in a bathtub. And so I get a mop and bucket. There's a big cage out back with a bunch of chemicals. Again, I'm 15, 16 years old.
Put them all in there.
Clean it. I took some green stuff and some bleach stuff and put it in the mop bucket and started wheeling it towards that bathroom. Now, luckily for me, high ceilings, big bathroom, big place. So I'm sitting there cleaning for a little while, cleaning the floor, paper towel inside the urinal. All of a sudden, I just realized my eyes are burning like fucking crazy. And I'm like taking breaks. I'm walking out of the bathroom, taking a big breath, going back in, and finishing up the cleaning job. And the manager runs in and goes, "What the hell's going on in here?" And I'm like, "I'm cleaning it up and doing what you told me to do." He was like, "Get the fuck out of here! We gotta open up all the doors. What'd you mix?" So I show him the 2 bottles. I mixed bleach and ammonia, and I think that makes most of gas.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah. So luckily for me, like I said, there's a fan in the bathroom, like an exhaust fan, and the ceilings were high. But we had to. It was early in the morning. But we had to evacuate that side of the building because I mixed bleach and ammonia. Sorry, Alan. If you're listening, Alan Abdella, my first manager, once again, I'm really sorry. I love you, buddy.
I'm gonna start doing that when I don't want to work. I'm like, fucking mustard gas, guys.
Yeah.
Gotta evacuate.
Well, that's the thing.
Hangover.
I'm gonna go do that right now.
Everybody's so concerned with like everything being wicked clean and just getting
Right.
the job done, and it's like we're always so busy in the restaurant that cleaning, as long as it gets done, it gets done. But the training of staff, with
There's zero,
chemicals,
pretty much.
MSDS,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honest, I hate to say that, but
I agree. Yeah.
and there's like
It's kind of that assumption too, where you're like, "Don't you know better?" And being a 15 or 16, you're like,
no.
no,
"No one's
right.
ever told me that."
Right, it's
Yeah.
hard enough to like make sure your staff's getting their tip certification and their serve safe. Never mind spending hours training them on the difference between Simply Green and Clorox. You know what I mean? Everyone thinks that's common knowledge, but I was a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
I never cleaned anything in my life.
Yeah.
Barely brushed my teeth. So it's like,
And it's one of those things that, like,
Still
at
didn't
that
brush
age,
your
you
teeth.
just look at it and you're like, I don't even know how to start.
right,
You know?
exactly. You're just looking at a pile of regurgitated puke,
Yeah.
and it was chowder, and you're like,
And what's the
I
most
just
you've ever
think of-
cleaned up at that point? Like a spilled soda?
exactly. When I was forced to, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, so that's the thing. It's I think this scare with Buffalo Wild Wings and in Kentucky is that was
I caught it.
weak one. I'll be
Yeah.
better.
I
next
caught it.
Yeah.
I caught it. I gave you a little.
But I think you're going to start seeing, especially corporate places, like really taking time. And you maybe over the next 5 years, you might actually see like a cleaning product certification similar to a TIPS or a Serve Safe or any kind of certification that you have for your staff. You might have one where it's like, this is the difference between these 2 chemicals. Do not put them together.
Right.
You will die.
Yeah.
You know.
It's crazy, and it's so easy to do, and like you said, you're in a rush, and it's a wet environment behind a bar,
Right.
and there's electricity. I can't wait to hear this fucking electrocuting story.
I've been electrocuted. Self-inflicted.
And
Getting
they
tased
were
at
even having
Speedwell.
some issues here earlier today with some wiring. I don't know what the hell
I thought they were
that
just
was.
being nice and not turn the lights on. 'Cause it's too bright for me to get over.
Yeah, no,
I thought they were going for like
Hangover
a romantic
friendly.
I went up and thanked Sarah. Like, thanks for keeping it dim in here. I can't handle this right now.
But I mean, that's just as dangerous too.
Right. Right, and that's the thing, that getting a new dishwasher, an automatic dishwasher installed downstairs, going back to the chemical thing. So these dishwashers, which are amazing, they'll wash a batch of dishes for you in 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
Longest 2 minutes I've ever, though.
Right?
They have 3, so they'll have a cleaning solution like a detergent, and then they'll have a rinse aid, and then they'll have a sanitizer. And all these chemicals are meant to be diluted like 1 to 1,000 with water. But you have to change these chemicals almost daily, and I've got the detergent on my hand before, and I'll never forget it. The guy who owns the dishwasher, or worked for the dishwasher company, was present, and I'm changing the chemical in front of him, and I'm like, wow, this stuff's like wicked oily. And he's like, there's no oil or soap in that. It's made so it doesn't set up. What you're feeling is that chemical pulling fat from your hands. So that greasiness you're feeling is your own fat.
Is this a new med spa treatment?
What is it?
A new med spa treatment? So, ladies,
It's a new diet, yeah.
You're like, I'm doing that new
find that
Bartok thing.
detergent. You just rub it on your love handles. It'll extract
I'm on
the
the Bartok
fat.
diet.
It'll extract
detergent
the
in
fat.
Ultra clean, baby. Get ultra thin on ultra clean. But dude, that's how crazy this shit. So like, we're just gloveless, like stabbing things into these bottles and jamming them behind the dishwasher every day and getting it on our skin. And like, you don't even think about it.
What's the red one? That's
Ultra clean.
Yeah, I've gotten that like on my skin and I didn't even realize it, and I go home like, wow.
10 pounds later, right?
Oh, I know. I like minor chemical burns.
But I mean, you guys are required to have, a first aid kit. I'm assuming.
Yeah, we had a big expensive first aid kit, which basically
It's
an
empty
excuse for-
half the time, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden somebody's like gushing blood, and they're like, "Can we like replenish the first aid kit?" And you're like,
I have
Let me
medical
get
tape,
on
and
that.
that's it. So,
Mine gets replenished every like 2 months, and it's got like the medicine in it too. It's not just wraps; it's got like antacid, and we got like the Rolls Royce of first aid kits, and we are out of aspirin by like the third day.
the pain
Yeah.
away.
The pain
We
away.
talked about
Because-
that. I
Yep.
want Pain Away as our sponsor because you guys rave about it.
Oh man,
It's legal meth.
I took like 5 of them today.
Because restaurant people are savages, and they're hungover every day at work.
I love like when
Doesn't
my
matter
staff
if
comes
it's
in like, oh, I'm
Tuesday.
so hungover. I'm like, go hit the pain away. They're like, no, I don't want that generic. I'm like, that is the best stuff you're ever gonna get in your life.
It is sneakily meth, and because it's generic, it's getting away with being out in the general public.
Yeah.
One day, when it gets like hot enough, they're gonna realize and make it illegal. So maybe we should chill on that. No, pain away's nothing.
Yeah.
Alright, it's nothing.
Can you get me a case for Christmas?
Health hazards at work, drug overdoses on pain away.
Why do I have liver damage? Oh, pain away. Give me another
Guys,
one.
this might be our sponsor. Let's just like hype them up.
I hope so, man.
Yeah.
I don't even need money. Just send me a fucking little case of it.
Gonna have
Floating
to.
like Chris Angel.
Yeah. Dancing through the streets.
So, what other hazards, or like weird hazards? There's gotta be like those weird, like, oh fuck, I never saw that coming.
Allergies.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
You just
I would be
opened
like,
a can of
I'm fucking
worms.
thinking about like
No, allergies are a big one because
pollen.
Allergy.
Yep.
so you
That's
get
what
like
you meant.
you get like the people who this is a thing. This is kind of where, and Jordan, you probably understand this because you're both like front of the house and back of the house, butt heads sometimes because the server didn't decide to tell these people that they have a fucking shallot allergy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're allergic to shallots, but only when they're cooked, but not if they're. I can't. But at the same time, as the manager who has to go over to said woman who has now ingested something that she shouldn't, but honestly, consumers are blurring the lines of allergies and making it hard for anybody to take them seriously.
Yeah.
Yet you take them as seriously as you possibly can, and when it gets derailed, it's a huge headache. It's an incident report. It's is this person gonna go online and then attack us for not taking their allergy seriously? That's like, I would say, one of the top things that as a manager I have to deal with when people have the allergy cards. People will come in with a business card full of allergies that they have. It's like, now I feel like I have your life in my hands. I don't like it.
You have to-
I've never seen those. That's
Have
why.
Have you seen them?
I have. Well, my wife's best friend has a lot of allergies, and she's one of like the cool people where she comes in, she doesn't expect. She'll bring her own stuff from home, her own salad dressing, or like a packet of tuna and stuff because she's allergic. I don't know her whole list, but she basically has that. Like, and she just wants to go out and have a good time. She has legit allergies. She's not like embellishing at all. So I use her as like a good case. But then, like, you're right, Nicole. Like, they blur lines. Like, a lot of people preference. They don't like tomatoes, so they'll tell you they're allergic to tomatoes. They don't like.
But then you'll go, oh, there's tomatoes in the sauce, or there's stewed tomatoes.
Okay.
Exactly.
As long as they're not diced in on my salad, I'll be just fine. Well, you just told me you would die if you had a tomato.
Yeah.
So
it's not an allergy. It's a preference.
It's a preference. And there's a lot of that. And if you're listening and you're one of those people, cut the fucking shit, please. Like, just say you don't want tomatoes and you really don't like tomatoes. And we're going to take it just as seriously.
And here's the other thing. If you do, because I'm a person, I don't like tomatoes. I ask for no tomatoes.
Right.
When I get tomatoes, I go, oh, and I take it off.
Yeah. It's not hard.
Very simple.
It's super
Right.
simple.
It's-
I maybe get a little mayonnaise on my fingers. Oh my god.
Right. Right.
I got some allergy justice the other day. It's a
Allergy
little
justice?
victory,
Ooh,
That's
a
a
good album
fucked up
name.
superhero.
right? We do a lot of like Grubhub takeout order stuff, so someone put on like no tomatoes allergic for a quesadilla that doesn't have tomatoes in it. So I'm like, well, fuck these people. I'm not giving them salsa. And they called it. Like, I didn't get salsa. I'm like, oh, you're allergic to tomatoes. It's all salsa. Sorry.
Yes!
Well,
Yes! Allergy justice!
And I was like, fucking don't say you're allergic to say no tomatoes.
Good for you, buddy.
It was a good victory.
And you didn't even, like, you could say you were just doing your job. Like, I know you're being a smart ass.
Yeah.
You were doing your job. You did the right thing.
That
because
was my
people
job to
like
be smart.
that make the people who actually have legitimate allergies suffer because the kitchen's like, oh yeah, I'm sure they're allergic to whatever.
Right.
Who's
And-
allergic to peanuts?
Right.
But but if you do fuck up, that can be a big scary deal.
Absolutely.
So it's PSA to all you people with preferences out there. Stop. Just stop.
You're making it more difficult for the people who actually, like my friend Meg that I just mentioned, people who have, like, legit allergies that fuck with their life every day. They're, like, have to be careful leaving the house. Those people already have it hard enough. Like, don't fucking dilute. That's like people saying they have anxiety. I have anxiety. What the shit? You're a little nervous. We all get nervous.
Yeah, I was gonna say this. I was just gonna like totally derail the safety portion of this and be like,
I think it's already off the rails,
it's,
Andy.
it's
Don't-
the same.
I don't know if we were ever on the rails.
It's the same thing with the service animals.
Right.
People go online and get like a vest for their dog, and it's not a service animal, and you're fucking over the people who really need it.
Right. And there's a reason why that law is in place for people who genuinely need a service animal.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the world is like, I always think of, it's a quick one, but if the Simpsons fans here, when Homer goes to like the nursing home and pretends he's like an older person, and he gets put on the air, and he gets put in the bed with the automatic thing. He's like, why am I using my lungs like a sucker? But that's what I equate it to. Like,
That sounds like a great
I should be
plan.
able to bring my dog in because you're handicapped. Like, that's not how it fucking works,
Yeah.
man. Dickheads, the worst people in the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're listening and you do that shit, fuck you.
You bring your
Oh, I love
emotional support chihuahua
Yeah.
shaking
Paris Hilton.
in its little vest to the bar because you want to bring...
No, Chihuahua shake
Yeah.
just all the time.
It's even more when they're at a bar,
Yeah,
okay?
Right. And they have a vest on and wondering if they have a job they're supposed to be doing or something like that.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
it's just
It's also a
shitty.
safety hazard.
It's a shitty thing to do.
Because you have an untrained, quote-unquote, service animal that
Yeah.
maybe shouldn't be around people in a public area, in a vest that it didn't earn,
Yeah.
and
You got on
it could be
Amazon.
snapping at kids, and like, what the fuck? You just bring like a strange animal into a bar, like, that's a safety hazard. We're staying on course here.
See? Yeah. Fucking damn, we're on the rails. Well, one rail.
It's a very-
Yeah.
It's a twist. It's like a roller coaster.
So what are the other? So we did allergies, but
You want me
like,
to do electrical?
yeah, you never really did tell your electrocution story.
I'll tell the one from yesterday. It wasn't one of my worst ones, but I have a couple. So as I'm also not only the cook and front of the house guy, I'm also the maintenance man, mostly at Speedwell. And
In
I like
BBC.
I don't like to call repair guys because 9 out of 10 times after being something stupid where I was like, fuck, I could have just did that. So yesterday wasn't one of those cases. Yesterday,
Dun, dun, dun.
my office is in the back end of the basement, and it gets fucking cold. And we ain't had our first streak of really cold days this week, so I wanted to plug in my space heater. And I plugged in my space heater and into the battery backup system for our POS. And when I did that, I blew up our power conditioner, and power conditioner is like basically like a middle ground, so you don't get power surges that destroy your computer equipment. Sort of like a surge protector, but on steroids. So being that, it handles large amounts of electricity, and it was basically shorted out because I plugged a space heater that was way too powerful into it. And I went to go pick it up. Without unplugging it, I went to go pick it up and like move it because I could tell it was getting hot and it was smoking. And
That's how you could tell it was getting hot.
That's a good telltale sign right there.
I fear for your staff. I
plumes of
really
smoke
fear for your staff.
indicate-
I shocked myself so bad that like the lights in my office dimmed for a second.
Did you see your skeleton in the outline?
So I proceed to, and if my staff listens to this, immediately after I sat on the floor to make sure I was okay, like just kind of to chill out for a second.
That like, does everything work moment?
And Seahorse, my kitchen manager, comes in and we're running like a Big Mac knockoff burger as a special. And he comes into my office and goes, "Hey man, we have any more Mac sauce?" And I just look at him and go, "Dude, I've been gone for fucking 2 days. Go check the cooler." Not telling him that I just electrocuted myself. So 2 minutes later, from upstairs, my bartender comes running down and says, "George, the credit card's not working." And I just look at her, still sitting on the floor. "I'm working on it." So I never told them yesterday. I was so humiliated because I didn't want them to know. So I never told them. But if you guys listen to this, I electrocuted myself yesterday.
That's gonna be great. I'm gonna be at the bar one day and be like, "Is Jordan has me like?"
And the funny thing is,
This looks like Doc Brown under that.
Michelle and Seahorse are there most days, so they've seen me electrocute myself. That might have been the 4th time. I did it over the summer because our AC froze over. So I took the plate off of the HVAC unit and ran a fan over it to melt the ice. And then it was like when the ice was like half melted, I didn't want to sit there and wait. So I was trying to pull the chunks of ice out of the HVAC unit and touch the live wire while I was in flip-flops standing in a puddle from the melted ice.
That's a recipe for success right there.
That one was almost a 911 call. That one knocked me like 5 feet back. I'm like Tim the Toolman too. This one knocked me 5 feet back, and my brother came downstairs to ask me a question, and I had grabbed him by the arm, and I go, "Hey, can you sit in the office with me for like 10 minutes? Dude? I'm afraid my heart's going to stop." It's like back in it was like a week after my birthday.
Last birthday I've had.
So,
just because he had it.
The great thing about this is people listening are going to be like, they know what not to do now, and we're going to be like the safest podcast ever.
Yeah.
Like it. Put that on a shirt.
But yeah, I electrocuted myself yesterday. So, anybody else ever electrocute themselves? Come on, anybody?
I mean, I get a little shocked, but it was not work related, and you didn't like my stitches that weren't work related.
You just got shook it?
Not even, just a
So it's
little
co-op.
like a 9-volt battery kind of. Just a
Just
shot.
don't put your tongue on it.
It wasn't an actual 9-volt battery.
Safety first. Don't lick batteries.
You guys are boring. I need homework. You guys all get electrocuted for episode 2.
Episode 2.
Go get some stitches at work and
You're like,
electrocute yourself.
We
Try
just
to do
got
the
out
same
of Dan
time.
Mahoney's funeral.
Hey, but, to just keep in theme and keep it relatable, like, the electric thing is a big deal in the restaurants because you're working with a lot of high voltage. We watched them install a dishwasher downstairs before. We're at Mayflower Brewery, by the way. So please don't call OSHA. But they were installing a dishwasher downstairs. They had to put a new breaker in. Like, there's 240 amp. There's all kinds of stuff. Sometimes you have, like, multiple splitters and extension cords and power strips coming out of outlets, powering equipment that shouldn't be plugged into that. Like, you see that shit at restaurants all the
And
time.
to Jordan's point, like, do it yourself because sometimes somebody will be like, "No, don't call them. It's time and a half on a weekend.
Right?
Don't get them in.
Yep.
Wait till Monday." And you're like, I
need this
can't
now."
have dirty glasses till Monday. So who's fixing it?
The one safety story I was telling you guys earlier that I'll tell the audience.
The shovel?
Oh,
To
well,
the
no,
face?
that was not.
Oh, that was a Stitch story.
that-
Okay,
That I
sorry.
just got hit in the face with a shovel.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's because you were trying to rob that house in Home Alone.
I was just saying.
No, so when I was working in the kitchen, we had 2 pizza ovens, and they were like one on top
Oh,
of each
yeah.
other. And I'm not the tallest guy. I'm not Carl. I'm not 6'9".
It's not Taco Fall over here.
Yeah. So of course the bottom one goes out, on like the busiest night. So we're trying to do twice as many pizzas through one oven, and there's 3 of us back there, and you're trying to like work in a small space. And I went to take a pizza out, and as I did, the little shovel thing hit the lid.
The peel.
The peel, sure. And I dumped it onto the guy's leg next to me, who was of course wearing shorts that day. And he just was like, kind of gave me the look like, fucking really? But I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. But so like that shit happens too.
Toughest guy ever. He's got a 600-degree pizza laying on his bare leg, and he's just like, really, bro?
Yeah. He didn't flinch at all. Like, it was fucking crazy.
That's how he's been doing this for a while.
He's probably hungover. He's
He just does it to feel.
like, I'm just gonna eat this later, actually.
But I mean, so ovens are just as dangerous.
Oh yeah, ovens.
Well, burns is a big thing.
Yeah, burns. That's a really good
Yeah.
one. And you can get burnt anywhere. Like,
Yep.
you don't have to just be in the kitchen. Like, I don't know. Actually, maybe you do. Where do you really get burnt behind the bar besides the electrical outlet? I'm sure I'll find out.
Do you have blenders? You making any frozen drinks?
Well, do bars still do like shots that are lit on fire?
Oh.
Very good point. I don't think so, but
I did once. Got in a lot of trouble for that. I also got in a lot of trouble for laying on the bar at Sam's and letting somebody take a body shot off of me, which was definitely in my younger, skinnier days.
viral.
Yeah, definitely viral. Like, to the point where I'll, like, when you download Tinder, you swipe right and somebody's like, I remember you! You were on the bar at Sam's!
Body
And I
shot,
was like,
girl.
oh, God.
You know, you
Not
gotta
my
aim
peak.
to please, customers always right. You know what I mean?
Erica.
Shot glass.
Shout out to
probably got a great
Erica who
tip.
made me lay on that bar. Picked the person that, God, would never want him to ever lick a shot off my body.
It was Carl.
Food, fun, and
Yeah,
fiesta.
if she was pregnant, Carl would be
I was
all
gonna
Oh,
say,
yeah.
she'd have to be covered in fruit.
See, I've never met Carl, but I know about midgets and pregnant people from the episode that I just read.
We were painting such a great picture.
You took that. Leave it to the artist to use that analogy.
That's great. So, how do you handle burns? Like,
You hope to God there's some burn spray in that first aid
Yeah.
kit that you hope to God was replenished.
I got a burn story.
Of course you
it
did.
does. So this is gonna be safety. Quote: Jordan speaks.
I feel like I'm doing you guys a disservice if I don't tell a story.
You should.
that I have.
These are
locked
great
in
stories.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. I just feel like I'm hogging the microphone as usual. But so
You haven't been on in a while.
This is true. I make it up for lost time. The job before I have now, I worked a lot in the kitchen, and we would clean in the fryer. We used to do them at the end of the shift, while everything was still hot, instead of at the beginning of the shift. And there's this back plate on the back of a fryer that holds your baskets in place, and it pops off so you can clean it and whatever. So I decided to clean that while the oil was still hot. I popped the plate off with some tongs because it's hot, and it lands in the oil, and the oil splashes up a good amount of it and lands on my arm. And my immediate reaction was to rub my arm, rub my arm on my pants. And I looked at it, and I had no skin on my arm. So I had from like my index finger and my thumb on my right hand, it was covered all the way up to almost my elbow, like this giant burn. And it didn't look too bad at first. It looked like a bad sunburn. So I didn't go to the hospital. I finished up in the kitchen. It hurt quite a bit. And then I sat at the bar, and as it got worse, I just proceeded to drink more and more Jack Daniels. So I ended up drinking a half bottle of Jack Daniels and never went to the hospital. So that's how it went away. You can't tell I had the burn.
That's an old cowboy scene. Solution right there.
Well, and in
Rub a little
restaurants,
whiskey
everybody
on it.
has a remedy. Like, so I, not at a restaurant, but at home, burnt myself on the oven, drunk, duh. Making pizza, 1 a.m., duh. So
Yes.
I come into work the next day, and I was like, guys, look at this burn. And everyone had a different remedy, and everyone opposed the other person's remedy. And I was like, oh no, that'll take your skin right off. And then, so I ended up going to the Minute Clinic, and I had this like horrific wrap around my entire arm. And I'm like, people are going to think that I'm out of my mind. I have an ace bandage from elbow to wrist because I've used 14 different remedies on this burn that all don't work. And now my skin is
probably
going
get
away.
The burn was fine. All that other shit you put on it was not.
Yeah.
It's like
Mayonnaise, definitely not a burn remedy. I don't know where that person heard it. Old wives' tale.
Simpsons episode where here's a good picture of my stitches from when that's another one. That's when I was
Show the microphone.
I'll show you the burn, but that was when I was watching Seinfeld while sharpening a knife.
Oh, we've definitely done that story.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
The Hall of Meat, guys. All right, anyway, sorry. The Simpsons episode where like Lisa gets gum in her hair and like everybody in the town comes out to like, oh, you gotta put vinegar on it.
No, you gotta put mayo.
You gotta rub peanut butter in it.
Yep.
But I think that's last call, and
Let's go.
last call is where we go around the table and
Pass around my burn pictures so
pass
all you guys
around.
can see exactly what
Whoa!
it looks like.
Holy shit!
Wait, this is my first last call.
So last call is where we go around and it's
How are you alive right now? I don't get it.
we have Instagram material right here. So if you're listening, check out our Instagram. 'Cause we'll post
See Jordan's injuries. We'll have a.
All right, I'll save it. I haven't looked at that in a while.
So this is where we go around the table and we can plug whatever we want to plug. And since he's probably the most hungover, let's start with Jim. Huh?
Yeah.
I'm going to use my last call to shout out Bubble Wrap because I think we need them as a sponsor to save Jordan Chavez.
Bubble wrap, would that stop me from being electrocuted?
Fuck. There's only one way to find out. Listen, you need all the help you can get, Jordan. So Bubble Wrap and rubber boots.
I'm
Yeah.
just wrapped in bubble wrap.
You look the little kid from the Little Giants.
Drop the
So,
hot pan on my leg.
Bubble Wrap.
Oh my god.
That's
I
it.
should just create an album on Facebook so you guys, everyone.
I think this is the newest Instagram story. Jesus! I can't handle this.
We have a new we have to set up a new
This
Instagram
has
called
to literally-
How is Jordan Alive?
Yeah.
He lives.
So Bubble Wrap Boy, you're up next.
Oh, hey, what's up? I'm
It's like
Jordan
we're doing a podcast.
Speedwell Tavern. Sorry. Thanks for listening to my long-winded story.
Don't touch that.
Is that grounded? I would like to give a plug to our third annual Call in Jordan Have a Bet. I'm hoping Inebriat will be there recording this week. We can make that happen.
We will be there.
It'll be January 27th, which is a Monday. It's the Monday after the Pro Bowl. All the a good amount of the restaurants and bars. Actually, I talked to 3V. Maybe you guys want to participate this year.
100%.
The only place in town you can eat that night is like McDonald's.
Yeah, closes. It's like the airing of the grievances. We all arm wrestle. It's for a good cause. We haven't decided on the charity yet this year. I think we're going to switch it up and try to spread the love a little bit. But if you're from Plymouth or outside and you want to see a bunch of bartenders, cooks, and waitresses arm wrestle each other and drink for a good cause, there'll be a buffet. $10 to enter, a big raffle, 50-50, all that. January 27th, the New World Tavern. Carl and Jordan Have a Bet. Please come by.
It is an amazing amount of fun.
Thank you.
And there's, I think, 2 episodes, right? If we go back, there's 2 podcast episodes.
Everybody is so fucked up in those, man.
Oh my god, they're so bad. I'm pretty sure were those Bar Talks or
Yes.
Yeah.
They did the
One
one
of
last
these,
show.
one
Yeah.
Bar Talk? Yeah, I think they're Bar Talk episodes.
There was the one with I always get confused with when you guys did the hot petition because everyone's so
Oh
fucked
my
up.
god,
in
everyone's fucked up in that one
And then
too.
the Beer and Bacon Fest. I was wicked.
Beer and Bacon Fest.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's like,
Hot Fest.
I was so
Hot
fucked
Fest,
up, I don't
yeah.
even remember it.
First of all, don't go back and listen to Hot Fest.
You guys interviewed
I
me.
was so drunk.
We all were. Please go back and listen to the hot fest. Andy was wicked drunk.
Oh my god, it's terrible. Like I went back not too long ago and listened to it. I'm like, oh god, this is fucking horrible.
It's really bad. It's like every interview is 20 seconds long.
Yeah.
Like you're just slurring through the whole
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Thanks for
go
bringing
back
that
and
up.
listen to it. Please don't take that
Please
down.
don't. Please, yeah.
Okay, good.
Please don't listen to that. So this is Andy from Inebriat. Please don't listen to that podcast. No, I'm going to promote our next big thing. Inebriat is launching their first video content on January 3rd, and we're going to have a live watch party here at the Mayflower Brewery. It is called the Music Video Project. We are bringing back the days where music videos were on TV, but we're doing it online. So it's going to be music videos from 100-plus bands from all over the world, including the Pixies. I'm very excited about that, with a host. And so it's going to be at the Mayflower Brewery, January 3rd, start at 6:30. Show starts at 7, goes till 9. And then at 9, we're going to have the Quins play for a couple hours. So it should be a hell of a night.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Very excited, very nervous, but I think it's going to be good.
Oh, you'll crush it. You'll crush it.
And Nicole.
Me. Last call. I can't ever not plug Sam Diego's Food, Fun, and Fiesta. Food till midnight, fun till 1. Food till midnight, fun till 1.
I hear they have body shots, too.
They have body shots! Don't tell the managers. I am the manager at 3V, and
This body
whole different game. Actually, I'm going to plug Inebriart at 3V,
That's right. We're going to be there.
January 15th. 15th.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's right.
Wednesday.
We're gonna do some wine glass.
Yeah, we're doing a wine
Art.
glass painting there. It'll be a good time.
It's a fun time. It's gonna be a great time. I know we're still new to a lot of people, so come on down, find us out.
The food's great.
Food is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I've eaten there.
Yeah.
I promise. I promise. We're part of like the Viscarello thing. People love that. Mamma Mia's, but different. So come on down.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Good stuff. I was like, the first time I went there, I always like to scout a new place, see who my competition is, but more to spread the love and welcome to the neighborhood. And I was pleasantly surprised when I walked in to see you work, and I was like, you work here?
Yeah. It was like a good, I'm going to polish off my last call with this is me and Michael have known each other since kindergarten.
That's awesome.
And Mamma Mia's in Plymouth was my first job. I was a takeout girl. We worked together in high school. Fell off after, high school. We graduated. We actually went to the same college together, never hung out, and then all of a sudden we now work together very closely at 3V, and it's a lot of fun. So
Restaurants bring people together.
they sure do.
Or stab them, or electrocute them.
Burn them.
Or-
Nervous sitting next to
Nixon.
Get
Jordan.
them punched in the face.
like Fire Marshal Bill.
Can we put Jordan in another room when we record?
You're probably still here.
We actually got a review, and someone said, they're like, oh, it's really good. The sound quality in that one guy is kind of off a little. And we're like, yeah, because we can't sit next to the microphone. But thank you for listening. If you want to check us out, we're on social media at BarTalkCast. You can email us at bartalkcast@gmail.com. No, I said that wrong. bartalkcast@gmail.com. I put too many apps in there. And also, please, write in your questions, because we do question and answers pretty much on the regular.
Yeah, those are fun.
Those are some of our favorite things to do, is to hear from you guys. So write in, let us know what you think, and we will see you on the next episode.
Okay, thanks for checking out the podcast. And don't forget to check out our other podcasts on the Inebriart Podcast Network. There's the Bar Talk. There's Old Colony Cast. There's, of course, the Inebriart Podcast. And our latest, Retro Redoctopus, a kind of nerd genre podcast that you can check out now, all available on our website at inebri-art.com. And pretty much available everywhere that podcasts are available, on Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, all those things. And if you don't see it where you're looking, let us know. We'll try to get onto that as well. And you can also email us at inebriart@yahoo.com with your questions, complaints, and suggestions. And also, if you could take the time to rate and review us on iTunes, that would be phenomenal. That helps us get more exposure and bring more of these great podcasts to your ears. And thanks again for listening.